Stoic philosophers believe that some of our negative emotions are simply caused by errors in our judgments, such as having unrealistic expectations of the world, other people, or ourselves, trying to control things outside the reach of our influence, not accepting responsibilities for the things within our control, not understanding the nature of the world or ourselves. To combat these negative feelings, Stoic philosophy instructs us to behave in accordance with nature, both the nature of the human being and the nature of the world. The foundation is a set of 6 fundamental ideas that create the core of our philosophy. 1. Control. Control is a difficult thing to see clearly in our modern world. We often assume that we have far more control over the world around us than we really do. In reality, we control very little. This can be an uncomfortable truth, but much of what we think we control is illusion. 2. Expectations. Stoic philosophy utilizes a tool called negative visualization to harness the power of expectations to help live better and happier life. Stoic would intentionally imagine and expect situations that were far worse than their current condition. They did this to achieve 2 things. Negatively visualizing the future can help us plan for undesirable events, should they occur. Thinking about how bad our conditions could be will help you remember that life could always be worse. It helps develop gratitude for what we have. 3. Acceptance. Imagine being stood in front of one of the great ancient Stoics, sandals and all. They will quickly point out that you are the only person who have 2 choices when something happens to us. We can either accept what's happening to us as reality and move forward, or we can resist. Most people resist most of the time. It holds us back. It wastes our time because the event has already happened. Resistance will only give you some unnecessary suffering and prevent you from effectively moving forward with your life. Resistance is like an emotional anchor. It holds us to things that have already happened. Acceptance starts with 2 very simple facts. First, the world, its events, and all of its people will behave as they do, not as we want them to do. Second, in the face of an event, we can either accept it as reality and move forward, or we can resist it. 4. Compassion. Unfortunately, not everyone grows up in constructive environments. Many people experience hardship to different degrees. Some of us face hardship early in life, and some people go through life with almost no hardship at all. Both of these conditions have their issues. If we define our experience then in trying to understand the experience of others, we can start on a path to become more compassionate to one another. The behavior of people becomes more far understandable once we become aware of what we've been through until that point. 5. Gratitude. Stoic philosophy employs negative visualization as a tool to increase our level of gratitude. For example, imagine you've come home and find out that you've been burgled. They've taken everything. Now most days we barely think about what we have, and it's not until they are taken away. Do we really appreciate the things in our life? Putting ourselves in these hypothetical positions of loss help us to appreciate the things we have. 6. Responsibility. Responsibility is unique among the 6 principles we've covered. It's unique because without it, you and I are unable to effectively implement the other 5. A mind of limiting beliefs and destructive perspective will create a life of suffering and hardship for its host. In contrast, a mind of optimism, opportunity, potential, resilience, and understanding will create a life of stability, enjoyment, and competence.